You may have had fun with our 19, 20, or 21-minute 5Ks, but it's time to satiate those of you who are going for that 22-minute 5K. That is a 2:15 flat on the split. Just kidding, it's 2:12. I said 2:15, I meant 2:12. I'm going to hold it as exactly as I possibly can at a stroke rate that is gonna be comfortable for you. As long as you pace with me on stroke rate and you hit that split, I got you covered. We're gonna put on some great music to help you focus and help you get that mark. Let's do it, yes, yes, yes. Okay, without further ado, let's get right into the warm-up. As always, here at Dark Horse, it does not matter what machine you are on. You can row it on any rowing machine that all flies. Go ahead and grab that handle, sit ready at the catch, and we're gonna kick off in 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Okay, so just nice and gentle as we start. By the way, is this your first time here? I'm Shane Farmer. Hi, welcome to me. This is Dark Horse, where you build the life that you wanna live, and we just happen to use rowing to help you get there. So now in this warm-up, we're just cruising to start. Very little effort. The whole point is just get your body moving. I like to call it grease the groove, where you just swing the hips, you know, the knees, the ankles, the hips, they all kind of start to wake up. That's why we keep the intensity low. That's when injury happens, when you kind of surprise yourself. You're like, ha ha, big effort, without any warm-up. No, but we don't need that. We don't need that. We need to improve the warm-up in all of our lives. You know how you like to get out of bed and let out that big stretch in the morning? Fun fact, by the way, those are called pendiculations. Pendiculations. Look it up. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add in, well, I guess actually we're gonna break down a little drill here. We're gonna go to arms only in 2 strokes. That's 1. And that's 2, arms only. So that means legs straight, hips or trunk open at 11 o'clock. In 2 strokes, we're gonna add in the hip swing. That's 1, 2. Here's the hip swing only. So now hips and arms, so no legs. Now feel how your back kind of grabs the tension and swings open with it. And then the arms create that finished acceleration through the handle. The arms don't start the pull. They're there to kind of put the icing on the cake at the end. In 2 strokes, let's add in the legs. That's 1. That's 2, add in the legs. There we go, now it's that leg push first and swing into the hips. And swing into the hips. And then you just snap the arms at the end. There we go. See? Now let's break it back down. We're gonna take the legs out of it in 2. That's 1. And that's 2, here we go, arms and body. And now as you swing the hips, think about bracing through the midline. That would be this area. Squeeze kind of tight, as if you were laughing. Ha ha! And then you can swing open with tension through the midline. That's gonna do a few things. 1, it's gonna protect your spine. But 2, it's gonna drive the power from the hips to the handle. And that's a big piece of it, is that ability to actually transfer force. In 2 strokes, let's drop out the hips and go back to the arms only. That's 1 and 2, arms only. And here's where we just chip away at rhythm. So no stopping of the handle at the front or the back, it just stays in constant motion. The trick here is to learn how do you pick up tension on the handle at the front without feeling like you're smashing into a brick wall of tension, but rather you're finessing tension on the handle. In 2 strokes, let's go back to a full slide. That's 1 and 2, whole stroke here. Let's take 5 strokes to kind of build in pressure a little bit. 2, 3, start to make things louder. 4 and 5. There we go, just some cool down strokes now. We're gonna stop, grab anything that we need, water, what have you, and we're gonna get into this workout. If you need a little bit more warm up, feel free, pause this video, go ahead and go warm up some more. Get a few more strokes in, maybe at your goal pace at that 2:12, and then come back and join me. Otherwise, let's just take 2 more. That's 1 and 2. Go ahead and set that handle down. Okay. So there's not much that we're going to discuss here. We're just gonna get 5,000 meters on our monitor. I'm on a Concept 2, so if you wanna see any of the results from my workouts, come follow me on Strava at Shane Farmer. My ErgData app usually pushes the data directly to Strava. It auto posts, and therefore you can come to my profile and find any of the workouts that I've ever filmed on the channel. All the results are gonna be there in Strava, so just a heads up. Anyways, the point is, any machine flies. So I'm just gonna talk you through what's on my monitor, on yours. Just set 5,000 meters. If you don't even have meters on your machine, that's okay. Just row with me from start to finish. That will be your workout. Okay, so on my monitor, I'm going to set it by, this is gonna be different. Normally I walk you through programming it, but we got a shortcut here. You're gonna go to select workout B button, standard list A button, and there you're gonna see 5,000 meters. B button is selected, 5,000 meters is on my screen. I'm gonna strap in and we are going to get ready to go. So go ahead and step into your machine, grab that handle, get ready to go, and we are going to nail this 22-minute 5K. I'm gonna set that 212.0 split for you at a stroke rate 22, as close as I can be on both of those markers. The objective is I cross the line at 22 minutes, so you gotta be slightly ahead of me on pacing. Doesn't mean split or stroke rate goes faster, it means that you go slightly faster on pace. You stick with me, you're gonna get your 22 minutes. Let's hit it in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm right on it. That 22 is giving me a little bit of work, but I'm right on that 22, 212. Here's where you really focus in. This first 1,000 meters is all about you getting settled and finding your rhythm. You don't want to be over pacing right now, meaning you might feel good. You may feel good. Probably are feeling good. But the first 1,000 is not where you show your hands. Okay? Don't reveal your poker face just yet. Stick to your plan and just set the rhythm. If you have more left in the second half, by all means, that's where you give it. Or even the final 1,000. But it's not now. Here is just where we set the tone. Okay? We're just getting comfortable, almost still warming up into our rhythm. Now don't get me wrong, you don't want to warm up in a test. So if this is truly your test, you should be plenty warm before you get started. Okay? Man, 21 wants to keep jumping out at me. Apologies if you're noticing that. Trying my level best right now. I'm holding pace for you. Think about hanging off of your handle, pushing force through the legs, swinging through the hips, and then accelerating that handle towards the end. About to cross that first 1,000 meters. Here's where you get to check that off in your brain and go, all right, that 1,000's done. Now it's time for me to get to working. Okay? So think of it as the next 1,500 meters. This is where you're really gonna do some solid work, locking your average in. Okay? By staying in place with your split, you're gonna come to the end of this 1,500. That means you'll pass the halfway point and you will have laid the foundation of a strong average. That means you've got a little room to work with in the second half, because the last thing you want is to be behind the 8 ball on your average, because there's a lot to make up. Think of it this way. You have, let's say, 5,000 strokes. Let's say every 1,000 is 100 strokes, okay? That means you have 500 strokes. Well, if the first 250 told the average or told the machine, hey, I'm not gonna be going at the pace that I want, well, the average has to make the assumption. It doesn't know what you're gonna do in the second half. So if you expect to turn it on in the second half, well, you're gonna have to fight the average that you set as precedent in the first half of the workout. I hope that makes sense. So, point is, we're locking in our profits right here, okay? And then depending on what you're feeling in the second half, that's when you get to shine. $21, $22, still bouncing for me. It's all right, you just keep following with me, I'll get you there. This is the piece for you. You're gonna do it. Settling. Be cool, be calm. There we go. It's another 500 away. Only 1,000 left of this 1,500 meter piece where we're locking in profits. Hanging smooth, being steady. Trying to set that pace right where it needs to be for you. My current average, 2:11.9. That 1/10 of a second is bouncing for me. It's all right. It's right where we want to be. Get comfortable. Comfort with discomfort. That's the name of the game in a 5K. You gotta understand, it's 22 minutes that you have to thrive through. And that's what you're doing right now. You're thriving. None of this is gonna get the best of you. You're approaching this tactically. That's why you're setting this 212 out of 22. Okay? If you need to rate up for me, you're welcome to, but do it with a plan. Okay? Don't just rate up to rate up. Do it because you know that that's gonna get you exactly where you need to be and that you can hold it. That's the big key. I'm fine with rate going up, but you better know that you gotta hold on to that rate for the rest of the piece. Which, if you're checking in, we're about to cross 3,000. That means 2K, done. You're on pace. Start imagining the race of this. Okay, 500 meters to go until we hit that halfway point. You're moving down the race course. You're surrounded by other singles, your left, your right. You're dead even, so if you peek left, right, you can see somebody shoulder to shoulder with you. They're far enough away that your blades aren't touching, but they're right there. You can hear their blades hitting the water. You can hear them breathing. This is the race. You're moving down the course for this 5,000 meters. Typically on the water, that's gonna be a bit more of a windy course. It's not gonna be straight. I've let the rate drop to 21. I'm gonna try and bring it back up to 22 for you. There it is, back up to 22. Your goal right now with those boats to your left and to your right, hold steady. Nobody's gonna make a move on you. Everybody around you has about that 22-minute average. Now typically what happens in a 5K race is you start with a rolling start, meaning they send you off in waves. They don't just start a line of people, a line of boats. It's one boat at a time, gets sent off. So what you've done at this point is you've worked up on a couple boats and everybody's in this wide lane on the water right now, jockeying for who's gonna take that position when it comes time to move around the next bend. Whoever's out in front gets the right of way. So you gotta hold steady. You gotta know when it's time to move, because right now you got a bit of a long straightaway here. You're holding it with them. There we go, still at that 211.9 for me. Right where we need to be. About to cross over that halfway point. Thinking long arms. There's that halfway point. You did it. You got through that 1,500. Now we're going to count down this next 500 to get us into our final 2,000 meters. That is a home free stretch right there. You can do a lot with 2,000 meters. That's where you can make some serious moves. And that's what you're going to have to do. Being in line with these boats next to you, you're going to need to do something. You're going to stick with me on rate, and you're going to make a push to send a little bit further every stroke. Right in it for you. Settle into your zone. 250 left of this 500. Breathing. Focus on that exhale. Get that used oxygen out of the body. Here we go, 2,000 meters to go. So here's where you start to make those moves. Start to nudge ahead. You've got that turn coming up. You peek around that shoulder. You got to get out ahead. Each stroke moving 1 meter ahead of the athletes to your left and to your right. Don't be satisfied with anything but making that move now. You do it by pushing through each stroke rather than trying to take the stroke rate up. Once you've mastered getting your force into the handle, if you're feeling capped by the stroke rate and you've got all sorts of force pushing through, great, you can take that rate up now. Inside of this final 2,000 meters, you can smell the finish. If you've been on this machine at all, you know what 2,000 feels like. You've already got 3,000 under your belt. This is where the happiness happens here. If you want to succeed in this piece, you move now, not at the end. I know I said this already, but the end is not where you make it. The end is just super icing on the cake. You gotta dig more in the middle of the piece. That's where you lay that strong foundation. Right where we need to be on that split and stroke rate, I'm holding it steady for you. Imagine that I am one of those boats. I want you to move ahead of me so that you start watching my back. You can see the back of me instead of being shoulder to shoulder. Coming up on that final 1,000 meters, that's where you start to get excited. 1,000 meters, you can do anything. Nothing's holding you back. Start to make those moves now. If you feel like you need to take a rate up and move beyond me, you are more than welcome to. I will be here holding this 22 for you. You are all sorts of steady right now. You are going to do this. 22 minutes is on the horizon. Come on. Don't let anything stand between you and that finish. If you're behind right now, if that pacing is slightly off for you, you can still make adjustments. Dig. Dig and push. Here we go, 1,000 meters to go. Make the difference now. I'm holding steady. You're moving away from me. Feel good about this effort. Come on. Make sure you got your breathing in control. You're about to pass 750 left. Every 250 inside 750, you make a move. You push down. Here we go, 750. So for the next 250 meters, turn it up. Not all the way, but dial up that notch a little bit. Getting ready to dial it up again at 500, 250 meter bumps. Here we go, take it up again. Dial it up. This is your final moment inside 400 meters. Go now. Anything you got left, dump it. Here we go, empty your tanks. You wanna end under that 22 minutes, not at. Go for it. You can sprint now. You can do anything for this amount of time. Let's go. I'm holding steady for you. I will be your rock. You make that move. 250. If you haven't already, go. Go now. Come on, beat me to that finish line. Don't just get there at the same time. We're almost there, come on. Let's finish strong together. I wanna know how good you do, not just if you made it. I wanna know how much you beat it by. Come on, final 100 meters, inside of it. Inside 50. Go, 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 go. There it is. 22 minutes for 5,000 meters. Did you do it? I want to know. Drop it in the comments below. You better tell me. You better not do this workout and not tell me whether or not you got it. You gotta let us know. Celebrate it if you got it. Keep joining me, by the way. Now's your time to push out everything that just happened. Let your body recover. Okay, that's what this little post-session cool down is about. It's all about recovering properly. If 22 minutes was your target, this is not something that you need to skip. You worked your butt off to get through this. That means you need to give it the due time to recover. I would honestly appreciate more than what I'm going to give you, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna give you a little tidbit on that cool down. After we're done, I would suggest hopping back on this machine if you did just clear that 22-minute hurdle. Number one, big high five, boom, virtual. And otherwise, jump back on your machine, keep spinning. Okay, just give yourself some light cool down. Thank your body for what it did. Don't just be like, man, I'm off to the next thing. You need to let your body know that it's done. Okay, so hydrate, sleep well tonight, get good rest, get good food. Use this as motivation. Keep letting the good stuff rolling from here. Okay? All right, let's take 5 more strokes. That's 1. Then we're gonna do a little stretching. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here we go, set that handle down. Let's take this into a stretch, keeping both feet in, but on top of the straps this time. Go ahead, adjust yourself on the seat if you need to. Grab those toes and fall into a forward fold. Enjoy this moment right here. You're done. You might be cooked. And this is where the enjoyment comes in, right? You get to allow yourself to appreciate the work that you did. It's huge. That was no small undertaking that you just went through. Congratulate yourself. Even if you missed the mark, you still put in the work. That part's important. Even if you did not hit 22 minutes, you still did most of the work there. So be happy that you did the work, learn from the effort, learn what you need for next time. And then when you come back, you'll be able to thrive. Okay, sit upright. Take that right ankle, put it on top of your left knee. Let's get another forward fold here. Stretch out that glute. Your lower back might be feeling a little bit tight. This is gonna help with that. Come upright. Left ankle on top of right knee. Get that reach forward. Think about reaching with the chest, not with the head. Okay, so that's gonna bring that stretch into that lower back. I am so proud of you. So if you're looking for more, maybe you didn't get that 5K, or maybe you did and you're on to the next one. Now you wanna break 21 minutes. Make sure that you are thinking about joining our online community, the Dark Horse Crew, where it is the thick as thieves best community online for indoor rowing. Come join us. Link is in the description below. I'd love to have you in there. Otherwise, make sure that you are checking out our playlist of other intermediate and advanced training workouts so that you can keep your workouts going, and then hit that subscribe button so you know when I come out with our next workout just for you. Go ahead and take that foot down. With that, I'll see you in the next one.